Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency have arrested a notorious distributor of illicit substances within Abuja, Ibrahim Momo, popularly known as Ibrahim Bendel, and that's during a raid of his hideout at Filindabo, Dede area of the FCT. We have more in this report.
NDLEA operatives first arrested Ibrahim Momo on the 27th of November in 2014. He was sentenced to 7.5 years in prison but escaped from custody in 2016 while serving his jail term at the Kuje Correctional Facility. According to a statement by the agency's Director of Media and Advocacy, Femi Babafemi, NDLEA operatives stormed the warehouse of the fleeing ex-convict in 2022 and recovered 81 bags of cannabis. Though Mr. Momo was not around at the time, his warehouse manager was arrested and sentenced to 2 years in jail. The agency thereafter declared Ibrahim Momo wanted. The manhunt for the drug lord paid off when operatives again raided his hideout in Abuja, where he was arrested with 56 kilograms of cannabis sativa and 42.7 grams of diazepam. Elsewhere in Ondo State, 5 persons, including another wanted drug kingpin, were arrested at New Bridge Compound, Iduani, with a total of 1,945 kilograms of cannabis.
Let's now speak with the Director of Media and Advocacy of the NDLEA, Femi Babafemi, on the arrest of a wanted drug kingpin by the agency. Mr. Babafemi, thank you for joining us on the news at 10. Ibrahim Momo, as it were, yes, was actually in prison before he escaped, and of course, with this latest arrest now. Was that lapses from prison wardens or what exactly?
Well, I wouldn't be able to speak for the correctional service, but from our findings from there, he was actually arrested in 2014, November, convicted in July 2015, and by the following year, 2016, he escaped from prison custody. I wouldn't know precisely what happened, but all we know was that he escaped from prison custody, and thereafter we started working on some information on him. But then somehow in 2022, that was last year, we had an information of some of his dealings again somewhere around Dede in Abuja here, and operatives stormed. It was actually a poultry farm where he had a large poultry, and which was actually basically used to conceal the drug business there. He had a warehouse there tucked inside the poultry farm, and by the time our operatives got in there, he wasn't actually there, but our men were able to recover over a ton of cannabis, and then his store manager, a Ghanaian, 55-year-old Gordon, was arrested and prosecuted. He was actually sentenced to 2 years, and then thereafter we declared him wanted since we were able to gather sufficient intelligence on him that he was actually a major distributor of illicit substances in Abuja within the FCT, so we had to declare him wanted. And this was around November last year, around November, early December last year. And fortunately, again, we got some intelligence again that he was around his base in that same day. That was on the 5th of November when our men swooped on him, and he was arrested again with some illicit substances again, I think about 56.3 kg and some quantity of diazepam also, and we're caught with him. So that's all set, meaning now that he had to go in to face prosecution.
Let's talk about the prosecution, Mr. Babafemi. What exactly is the process now? What is the next step to see that justice is done? And how effective really is the justice system? Is it strong enough to actually serve as deterrent? Because someone who was caught, for instance, has been sentenced to just 2 years in jail.
No, that was his store manager. It was his store manager that was sentenced to 2 years. But himself, when he was initially arrested in 2014, he was convicted in 2015. I was indeed sentenced to 7.5 years, but he was he spent less than a year in prison when he escaped from custody again. I mean, when he escaped from custody then. So, but then if he had obviously by virtue of that, that makes his matter now that he's been rearrested again, makes his matter compounded, and so all of this the trial judge will have to take into consideration, most likely this time around, to deny him bail until the matter is dispensed with, and probably this time around again, he's most likely going to face stiffer penalties, especially that he, apart from the offense of 2014, we have another one of 2022 when his store manager was arrested, and now again in 2023, making 3 different charges. So I'm sure all of these the trial judge will take into consideration in appropriate sentencing.
Spokesman for the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Femi Babafemi, thank you for talking to us on TVC News at 10.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much.